what's happening in July. Rally. You want to be there. I don't know when registration is opening for National Rally, but it'll be soon. Like in the next 2 weeks or something. Usually it's around.
And you want to pay attention because
you'll start seeing stuff about rooming together and all that, flights and everything right now. But you want to get there on Wednesday, July 9th is when you want to arrive, and you will fly out of Dallas on the 12th. You can arrive Thursday, really early. Yeah, but it's like 9.
No, rally starts at 2 o'clock on Thursday.
I like you. You can come in Thursday morning. Like cheese, okay. Anybody else have anything exciting on your calendar? No? Lots of parties? You do?
Stephanie turns 30 in July.
Last day of school in the middle of full time.
Oh, really?
Sorry, that's good.
we should put that on all of our calendars. We know how to do it.
Oh, fun to share. I didn't talk about that, but it's going to be fun to share. It's fun.
Yes, Lake City is not, like, we started it last month, but we're just, if you're in Lake City, just go to dual school instead. 2 days sooner, and bring your guests to dual school.
Yeah, fun to share. I'm going to be breakfast for dinner. Yeah, on the last Monday of the month. Raise your hand if you're coming to fun to share. Yeah. All of you should have raised your hand. There you go. All right. So Stephanie, take it away. So listen. Wait. Let me just ask you. Who feels like you're in Death Valley?
That is my. She loves to steal my thunder.
Okay, Stephanie's going to tell you how to get out of Death Valley. So this is a real uplifting training.
It is. I'm about to bring you down. How much time do I have? 30 minutes?
You want me to set my timer?
I'm setting mine.
Make it really
I'm
loud.
courteous of y'all's time.
Oh, good.
Not like that.
I like that.
Wait. All right. There is. I win. I don't know. I just made that up. All right. Can everyone hear me? Apparently, I have to use the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I originally planned something else to speak on, but I went to Bible study on Friday, and this just kind of came to me on our way to the beach and stuff. So I really felt like this is what I should talk about. So, we're going to talk about the peaks and the valleys of our business. Okay. So, by a show of hands, how many of you are in a peak right now? Oh, awesome. That's it? One person. No one else feels it. Jonathan feeling great back there. Jessica. I'm sorry, what was that? Woo woo! I'm so sorry. Okay, all right. So the peaks and premiere are really, really, really awesome, right? Everybody's at least experienced one peak, right? Because everyone's been in Quick Start. Okay, and you had a training show. Everyone in this room's had a training show, right? Good. Okay, so how many of you have experienced a peak? I want you to be alive and awake. Thank you. Okay. All right, they're awesome. You feel invincible, like you're going to take over the world. You're going to go buy a beach house. You're going to go buy a car.
My peak isn't that big.
You got to have dreams. You got dreams? A little bit of pretty woman coming up. Yeah. Okay. But you feel like a rock star, right? Yeah? Yeah? Good. Okay. Well, I'm here to tell you that yes, those are amazing, but unfortunately, the valley is coming. Okay? I'm here to tell you, I'm bringing you bad news. And, well, I'm just being honest, okay? If you're in the peak, eventually the valley's coming. So it'd be better to prepare for it, right? Okay? So yes, you felt like a rock star on the mountaintop, but what you do in the valley is what makes you a rock star, okay? It's not what you do on the peak, it's what you do in the valley, okay? So what do you do when you're in the valley?
Cry.
Okay? Yes, I cry. That happens a lot. I quit like 3 or 4 times during the valley. I think, when did you text Jonathan? Last week I quit. Okay? I can tell you, whatever you do in the valley will define you as a person and your business. Okay? So you definitely have a choice. Let me make some notes here. All right, so you have two choices. A, you can just not do anything and just sit there, hang out, feel bad for yourself, and when your Premier Mom texts you, be like, hey girl, what's going on? You feeling good? How's your business doing? And you're like, oh, I'm just going to delete that text. I'm not going to answer her. And I'm definitely going to stay off the Rockstar Facebook group, and I'm never going to training. Because all those people are going to know that I'm in the valley. Okay? Or B, okay, you're going to say, well, this really stinks. It's really uncomfortable here. I'm going to do something about it. Okay?
That's
Right. Okay, so hopefully you have chosen option B, because how many of you are actually in the valley right now? Raise your hand. That's it? Only one person raised that they were in the peak. Okay. All right. You should raise your hand for the peak. There's a middle ground, okay? We're going to talk about that. Okay, so some valleys are really short, and some are ridiculously long.
A year long.
They can be a year long, they can be 2 weeks long, they can be a month long, whatever. Okay? So, how many of you feel like you're on a treadmill and you're rolling along, you're burning some calories, you're being productive, but you're not going anywhere? Yeah, me. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm just sitting there and I'm working, but I'm not getting anywhere. Okay? I'm doing OPs, but I'm not sponsoring anybody. I'm making phone calls, but I'm not getting bookings. I'm doing all these things that I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not getting anywhere, right? Okay? So, there are different types of valleys, and we were talking about in-betweens. There are show valleys, there are retail valleys, there are OPs valleys, and there are sponsoring valleys, right? Okay? So now I want you to think for a second what kind of valley you're in. Okay, are you in the sponsoring valley, or are you in the whatever valley, one of those four? You fall into one of those categories, okay?
Can you name those four again?
Okay, the four valleys are show, I hate this microphone. Gosh. Okay, you're either in a show valley, meaning that you have no shows, or you're on your way to having no shows. So I can tell you right now, if you only have one show, you're on your way to having no shows. Just being honest. I'm going to be brutally honest tonight, okay? Either you can't get anyone to sit down and do an OP with you, so OP. Retail, you just feel like, geez, I can't, I'm like in the $50 club. I can't even get it into, I can't even count as a show. And then you do a million OPs, but you can't get to sponsor anybody. That is me. Okay? So, and this is how I feel, okay? I feel like God uses the valleys to thresh us, okay? How many of you know what threshing is? Well, William, you know what it is. Okay? All right, so in biblical times, farmers used to thresh the grain, okay? And this is what it said in my definition, okay? So they would separate the meaty, nutrient-rich grain from the light, airy, and useless chaff, okay? So now, obviously, when we're in the valley, we're feeling pretty beat up. We feel bad about ourselves. We use a lot of bad self-talk. And we just feel abused, okay? But I feel like no matter what it is, whether it's Premier or Life or whatever, those valleys are used to mold us to make us better people and better Christians, okay? And I can tell you, I'm in my third year, okay? And every time I've been in a valley, I always end up better on the other end. A better person, a better jewelry lady, and our business is always better, okay? So that is something promising. See, I'm not always negative, okay? So, during this time, how many of you feel like when you're feeling bad, like you start really feeling bad? You feel like, Satan gets in your ear and you're like, oh gosh, you really suck. Nobody wants to have a show with you. This is not really what you should be doing. Premier really doesn't work. No one wants to book a show. They're way too busy. Home parties are overrated. No one does those anymore. We're in the techie time. People only buy offline. Okay? Well, I can tell you right now, he's lying to you. Okay? Because every one of you are here for a reason, and I'm reading the wrong part of my training. Pooh. Okay? Now we're going to do a move into steps. Okay? So what's the first thing you should do when you get into the valley? Does anybody know? Good. I like it. I thought some of you were going to say cry. That's half a step.
No, that's what we do, but what we need to do is
admit you're in the valley. It's like you're in AA. Admit you're in the valley, okay? But even though you can think your way out of it, I think sometimes. Okay, you're going to pray for your business. If you are not praying for your business now, then you need to start. Okay? So you're going to pray for shows, you're going to pray for your OPAs, you're going to pray for sponsoring, and you're going to pray for everything. Okay? But it's really great to pray, and praying is super important, but if you're not doing anything, what is God going to have to bless? So if you're sitting there watching Grey's Anatomy, or the Kardashians, or some ridiculous television show that I can't name off all, and you're like, dear Lord, please bless my premiere business. I really want to book a show. I don't want to make phone calls, but I really want to book a show. How many of you have had it in the, don't raise your hand, Jessica. How many of you have randomly had people call you or go up to you in public and say, I want to book a show? That's never happened. One time, yeah. But I mean, one time in a year. Okay, that's not going to happen. You've got to go out there and put yourself out there and put a little effort into it and sweat a little in order to get there. So that's what we're going to talk about. All right, so the next thing that you're going to do is make a plan. Okay, so you're going to make a plan. Because I'm a planner and I'm doing this training, so that's the next step, Lacey Basford, is to make a plan. So you have to have goals. If you don't have goals, you're not going anywhere. And then what am I going to do to get out of the valley? So what are your next steps? Okay, so if your valley is shows, this is the part of the training you're going to want to listen to. Okay, you ready? I'm so excited. Okay, first thing you're going to do is pick up that thing that you text on. And you're going to make phone calls. And you're going to call people. Who are you going to call? You're going to call your past hostesses, your customers, your past customers. Facebook. You're going to go up and down Facebook and look for friends and family and random people that have friended you in the last 6 months that were nosy to look at your timeline. Well, now you're going to ask them to have a show. And then you're going to ask your coworkers, your neighbors, anyone and everyone to offer them the chance to get free jewelry. Okay? You're going to also go out and about and wear your jewelry, not like this. Or if you want to draw attention, and try to talk to some people. You're also going to contact your regular friends and family. Okay? Then you're going to develop a contest for yourself. No one's going to give you free jewelry. You can pat yourself on the back. You can even say, I'm going to go get myself a pedicure. Whatever it is, you're going to create some kind of contest for yourself. You're going to say, okay, I want to have XYZ number of shows in this amount of time. Okay? Because what that's going to do is motivate you, and when you go and call people, you'll be able to tell them, I'm in my contest to do this many shows in this amount of time. So can you help me with that? And you didn't have to ask anyone for help. You did it all by yourself. And it could be that your goal is to give away a certain number of amount of jewelry if it's not shows. You know what I mean? Just say, I'm going to give away $2,000 in free jewelry. Figure out how many shows that is and ask them, can I give you free jewelry? And they'll be like, sure. And you say, awesome, you're having a show for me. Okay? Then you're going to choose some hot dates, okay? Chrissy Sutton a while back trained on that. Pick some dates on your calendar. I usually pick the next 2 weeks worth of dates that are really, really difficult to fill. And I'm like, what am I going to use to bribe people to pick these dates that are like a week to 2 weeks out? Okay, one of the things that I've done this year that is extremely, extremely effective is I say, hey, if you pick this date right here, I'm going to let you shop for 50% off for the rest of 2014. And it works. I swear. Promise. I filled dates a week out with that. Okay? Do a vendor event.
And how much did that cost you?
Nothing. It didn't cost me a thing. Didn't cost me a thing. I had a show a week later that was, what, $800? Got 3 bookings from it. Complete strangers. It was awesome. Okay? So you do a vendor event. Where do you go to find vendor events? Any suggestions? Do they just fall out of thin air? What's a vendor event?
Newspaper, you can check your local paper for events that are going on and online a lot of times too.
An event, yeah, right. And so what, both of those are great. Like it's an event where there's usually several vendors and you're showing your stuff. The majority of time, in my opinion, when you do a vendor event, you're probably not going to sell very much. On the rare occasion you might, but the major purpose in a vendor event is to get contacts. Okay, so you're going to look on Facebook and newspapers, all kinds of places to do an event. And what that's going to do is that's going to open your focus so that you can meet lots of different people outside of your circle of friends that you've already called and bugged and asked for parties. Okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to decide, I am going to give to an organization. I'm going to do a fundraiser. Okay? And you're also going to be listening for people who say that they need extra money or whatever for their organizations. And you're going to do a fundraiser. My goal every year is to do 2 vendor events a year and a fundraiser a month. Okay? And then you're going to master your booking activity. How many of you do a booking activity at your show? Everyone should raise their hand. Good job. Okay? If you're not doing that, you're probably not going to get bookings. Just being honest. Okay, so pick your goal of what your number of shows is. Okay, so if your goal is you want to have 4 shows, then you need to put 2 numbers higher than that, and that's how many shows you need to book. Okay, we all know that. And then the more no's you get, the closer you're going to be to a yes. So don't feel bad when you get like 10 no's in a row. You're like, oh, I'm that much closer to my yes. Okay, so how many of you feel like you're in an OP rut? It's just me? I can't get people to listen to me? Gosh, you guys are quiet. Okay, again, you're going to make phone calls, same category. When you're making phone calls, and when I make phone calls, how about that? I offer everything that Premier has to offer. And that's just what I do. Hey, do you want extra money? Hey, do you want some free jewelry? Hey, do you want to shop right now? Okay, and you're going to use your home shows. Your home shows should be opportunities to meet new people that need extra money. Okay? I think 9 of the people I signed last year were from my shows, or more than that, right?
Yeah.
For every 9 hostesses,
Right.
I sponsored one of my hostesses. So you should always be doing OPs with your hostesses. I feel like I'm being really boring. Okay, you're listening. Okay. Okay, so when you walk into a show, what's the first thing you're going to do before you walk into the show?
Smile.
Before you walk in the door.
Pray.
You're going to
Leave the bag in
pray.
the door.
Dear Lord, please open up this opportunity. Help me find people that really need you and need Premier. And then guess what? For some reason, when I do that, I'm more aware of who's around. Okay? And it also takes my mind off of if we need extra money or something. I'm not thinking about, gosh, I need to pay that bill. I'm thinking about who can I bless with Premier with this. Okay, so you're going to pay attention. And then you're going to set a goal weekly and monthly for OPs. You're going to schedule your OPs just like you do your home shows. So if you're booking 4 shows a month, you're also going to book however many OPs. For me, I like to do 1 OP a week. So I'm going to try to fill that slot just like I do my home shows. Okay? And then you're going to, if you book an OP or you meet someone that's interested in the business at a show, you should always schedule them 48 hours afterwards. Yes? Okay. All right. And then what's the most important part of OPs?
Follow up.
Male. Who said that? You're the woman.
I've only had one.
You've only had one, but she knows the most important part. Follow up. If you do an OP and you never call them back, even if they're an 8 now and you don't ever call them back, maybe they turn into a 10 overnight.
I might advertise it as it's a non-stock guarantee, but I lie.
No. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a
I don't
second.
stock them. I don't
Yeah.
stock them. You know, most of the time I just say, hey, how you doing? Just thinking about you. And then I leave it at that.
Well, right.
And then the next time I follow up with
And then the next time.
a premiere
10
thing
minutes
or
later,
something
we'll
like
follow
that.
up.
In 10 minutes, I'm gonna follow up again. What I usually do,
Gosh, did you get my text?
just, I text them, then I call them, then I email them.
Just text me, see if your phone works.
What I usually say is, I'm going to follow up with you in 48 hours, okay? Okay, so when is that? That's Tuesday, okay? I'm going to call you on Tuesday. And then what I leave in the message is, hey, Sally, it's Stephanie, your favorite jewelry lady. I know we talked the other day about Premier, and I just wanted to follow up like I promised. So if you could just let me know if you're still interested in doing Premier, or if it's not really on your interest list anymore or whatever, just text me or email me, because those are the ways they like to say no. And just let me know. Awesome, thanks, bye-bye now. Okay, how many of you are in a sponsoring valley? Me. Awesome, okay, so how do you sponsor somebody? Maybe I should go ask you.
Get an OP.
You're gonna do an OP. What'd you say?
Follow it up.
I followed up a
You
lot.
followed up, but it's louder.
I followed up a lot.
She did a lot. She did a lot of OPs.
A lot of OPs, and that is the secret. How many OPs did you do?
I've done 7.
7, okay, and I do know someone's gonna, I know someone that's gonna do, and it's gonna show the testament, it's an 11. Just saying. Done a lot of OPs, and when that happens, that means that like it's gonna happen soon. Really excited. Okay, so you're gonna schedule lots of OPs. So if you wanna sponsor somebody, you're gonna ask everyone that has a breath for an opportunity to tell them about Premier, not for them, but for someone they know. You don't want them to sign up, no. You just want them to tell them for someone else, their neighbor who's borrowing their money, or their brother. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna do, and this is really important, you're gonna listen to other leaders do OPs, because you wanna be a professional opportunity presenter, okay? So you're going to get to training early. and watch Christy Sutton or Lacey or someone do an OP. Then you're going to go and listen to Gail Foster's OP and Gayla Unger's OP and Julie David's OP and every person under the sun's OP. Because everyone does it different and you need to find your niche. Okay? Yes? Anybody?
I'll say, I really like Kayla's.
You like it? She sounds like Barbie. I love it.
No, I drove to Jacksonville, I listened to it like 3 times. I was like, I want to do this. I want to do that.
She's really happy.
It's really good.
Yes, listen to OPs, and guess what will happen every time you listen to an OP? You'll sign up and premiere again.
You will. That's what Kayla said.
So it's good to listen to them.
I love Gail Foster's. That's like my favorite one. I listened to it twice yesterday.
Oh my god, it's so cool.
Think hot.
Can you make it hotter?
I'm burning up in here. I'm sweating. Okay,
After
so you're going to
brown,
know the
that's
marketing
the
plan.
thermostat.
What is the marketing plan? Where can you find the marketing plan?
There's an app for that.
There's an app for that. Okay, our marketing plan is very simple. You make 50% of everything that you sell, and you make 10% off your first 3 levels of all wholesale orders they turn in. Okay? Now, I'm going to go and tell her about it, and I've done an OP. That's all an OP is. Okay? So you're going to become a professional objection overcomer. Okay? That means that when you're doing an OP, you're going to make a list. Excuse me, can you tell me all the reasons why you don't want to do Premiere? It's funny, but it's the truth. Unless you ask them specifically what their reasons are for why they're an 8 instead of a 10, you're never going to overcome them. They're just going to sit back there and hanging out, and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to follow up with you and stalk you. Not stalk you, I mean, but call you and Facebook you. I actually got blocked. Oops. I'm not even the one that, Facebooked her, but whatevs. Okay, but bottom line is you have to make a list. And then you're going to attack them right there. Because I feel a lot of the time, we're afraid of the objections. We're afraid of the reasons why they're saying that they don't want to do Premiere. Because it's like, oh gosh, I don't know how to overcome that. I'm really afraid to tell you how much Premiere costs because I don't know how to fix that. Okay? You shouldn't be afraid of how much Premiere costs. Premiere costs $870 now. It's cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. That takes 4.5 shows, not even 4.5 shows to pay that back. How many other businesses in the world can you get started in and pay back in a week? Really, I mean, 2 weeks?
5 work days.
4 work days, 5 work days. Okay, so you're going to make a list and you're going to sit in the OP and you're going to say, okay, so what are your reasons for why you don't want to do Premiere? Okay, so the first one is that you don't have time. Okay, well, tell me what you do for spare time. Be honest with them. Be direct. Don't be afraid to step on their toes a little bit. They were willing to sit down with you. All right, and the last one is retail. Okay, so this is one that Lacey Basford helped me with. Okay, so my average for the last 2 years was about $400. Okay, the first thing that you can do is stop saying that your average show is $400 at your shows. And then it won't be $400 anymore. I used to stack the boxes and I would say, oh, my average is $400. And then I'd have a $400 show. But instead, the first thing I did was I started saying my average was $500, which is a little bit of a fiblet. Just a little one. But eventually getting $500, okay?
2,000. Our show is 2,000.
This region.
This region.
About 500.
It's about 500.
That's not a fit.
So sick.
That's not a fiblet. Okay? All right. The next thing, okay, is you're going to do advanced orders. How many of you, every time you do a home show, your hostess collects $100 in advance sales? Every time. Or over half the time. Over half the time, over half the time. Okay, and you'll notice these girls always have high retail. Okay, and the secret to high retail is advanced sales. Okay, a good motivated hostess is one that's got at least $100 in advanced sales. They always have better shows. So what you're going to do is you're going to teach her how to be a jewelry lady. Okay, in like 10 seconds. Okay, so you're going to teach her how to collect orders. You're going to say, okay, open up the book and point out your favorite thing in the book. Connect with your person. Tell them when you drop off the catalog that if they want to keep it longer than a day, they really don't want to order. They're just being friendly, and that's okay. Be like, that's okay, I'm going to pick up the book tomorrow, and if you're not ready, that's cool. I'm just going to get it to so-and-so next. Because you don't want it to sit in someone's house by their toilet for the next 2 weeks. I'm just saying.
Ew.
We're being honest. How many catalogs do you have by your body? Okay? Okay? I provide my hostess with 5 order forms. And I say exactly what Lacey said last training, which is that, hey, if you want to have a successful home show, I'm going to need you to fill out all 5 of these home orders. Okay? Alrighty. Thank you. That Becca Brummel. And also Stephanie Barron says it too. Okay, and then I offer hostess incentives for collecting over the $100 or over the bonus amount, because my husband said it was confusing when I said over the $100. Okay, but does it? What do I offer? I offer what Stephanie Barron encouraged me to offer, which is if you collect $300 in advance orders, then I'm going to give you a free watch of your choice or $100 in free jewelry. And it really does work. I've had a couple of jewelers that have actually done it, and their hostesses collected like $600 in advance orders, which is cray-cray. I think, no, you still only get one. No, that's sorry. That's mine. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. I don't think did she offer anything extra? No, she just gave her a high five. You know? Okay, now, at your home show. So that's all done before your home show, right? Okay, so some things you can do during your home shows. Always offer a special. Does everyone offer a special? Do you know what a special is? Raise your hand if you know what a special is. I want to make sure you're still alive. Okay. Some examples of specials are with a purchase. Okay, because give me your special.
Spend 75, take it.
Purchase.
Bam!
Oh, that was good.
Purchase $75 and get an additional item half off.
Okay.
So if you did The Amazing Race, you heard hopefully Elizabeth Draper talk about, I love you, Jess Rao.
I heard that too.
Okay, you don't say spend. My very first home show I ever went to, my husband said, don't buy anything. Don't spend any money. It looks like him talking too, doesn't it?
And did you?
No, I didn't.
Booyah!
I felt really bad for Danielle Smith. I left without buying anything. Okay, but with a purchase of $75, get an additional item at 50%. Or with a purchase of blank, choose any item out of the bling book for $10. Or with the purchase of blank, receive this gift. And that gift could be a jewelry roll, a jewelry care kit, a scarf, a nail kit, a pashmina. In the words of Elizabeth Draper. Okay, whatever it is. But you need to know your audience. Okay? If you got a bunch of high rollers, with the purchase of $100, you get to choose anything at 60%, no, at 10% off.
Not 60% off.
Not 60% off. That would be bad. Back to a $400 show again. Okay, but if it's a crowd where you know they don't have a lot of money, you might say with the purchase of like $40, you get to choose something at $5 off or something like that. Adjust it.
Free shipping.
Free shipping. Yeah, but that can add up sometimes. I like free hand sanitizer. No, I used to give away scarves for bookings. I used to go to the Dollar Tree and I would walk around the Dollar Tree and I would look for prizes for a booking incentive or specials because we didn't have a lot of extra money to be like giving free stuff away because it can dig into your pocket a little bit when you do a half price item. So I got the jewelry rolls once. I did scarves from the Dollar Tree, and she'll tell you about that in a second. But people really like scarves.
Yeah, they do. I did it at my renewal show in March.
Yeah.
And I bought the little Dollar Tree little Chinese takeout boxes. They're decorated in spring flowers. They loved them.
I talked to a girl on the cruise that the only reason she booked a show, she didn't like jewelry at all. They are cute. This lady booked a show with Amy Jo Basil just because she wanted the bag with lips on it. That was the only reason that she booked the show. She had no desire to get free jewelry. She thought Amy Jo was all right, and now she's a designer.
No,
Wow.
2 diamonds.
Excuse me, she's a 2 diamond. She's really awesome too. It's part of our Yankee friends. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the part that I was already talking about before. And then I'm all done. I know this was boring. You warned me. I'm sorry. Okay, all right.
Not bored.
No.
Following.
I went
Just
off.
quiet. Okay, so there's a couple things you need to remember, okay? So, we need to remember that what Scripture says about us. Does anybody know what Scripture says about us? A lot. But we're going to think about the good stuff right now. It's all good, okay? But did you know you've got royal blood? You're all related to Prince William. No. I'm just kidding. No, you have royal blood going through you. We are all daughters of the King, okay? So, and he doesn't make mistakes. So every one of you are not a mistake. and you're in Premier for a reason. So there is no reason that you should quit during your valley, I'm just saying. Okay? Don't quit. Because then, you're just missing out. How many times I've been missing out a lot, because you know when I quit my very first time? 1 month in. You think I'm dead serious. I quit. For real. For reals, man. Okay, I quit, and I would have really missed out on a lot of friendships and a lot of fun if I would have quit then.
And growth.
And a lot of money.
That too, but I wasn't going to have a lot of money and a lot of growth, and I really wouldn't have liked Lacey. I didn't even know Lacey then. Actually, I think I met her once and I didn't like her. No, I'm just kidding. I loved her from the beginning.
Everybody always hates
It was love at first blonde sight. Okay?
There's a lot to take in.
So, where should you look when you're in the valley? Up. Not inward. Because a lot of us, I feel like when you're feeling bad, you're like, oh, I'm going to go get my bowl of ice cream and a really girly movie, and I'm going to curl up in the ball and I'm going to think about how much I suck. I'm just telling you what I think. That's the truth. That's how I feel. I will get upset. I will walk out of my office and I'll say, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not what I want to do anymore. I don't like this anymore. I'm not doing Premier anymore.
She does not say it in that voice.
It's more like a high-pitched cry. It's the truth. That's how it is.
That is what it sounds like.
Shut up. That's because she doesn't want to talk about what she sounds like. But anyways, that's the truth. Okay, so we all quit. We all have valleys. And I am sure that Lacey Basford has had a valley before.
Yes. Yeah, all the time.
Okay, so it
Part
doesn't
of
matter
it.
where you are in Premier.
They grow you.
Okay, so you're not too good for a valley. I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm done talking. Does anyone have questions? Because we have time. I didn't take up that much time.
I watched something on training and they said don't say $100 in outside sales because they will only get to $100.
Right.
So you should give them a higher or just.
Yeah, Stephanie Barron actually says, what's your goal? How much free jewelry do you want? It's really awesome. Like she's almost asked you how many of you get advanced sales. Almost all of her hostesses collect almost $300 in advanced sales every time. She's the bomb.com.
85 to 90% of her hostesses.
She's the
like
bomb.com.
Just by using that little verbiage.
Yep. Anybody else? Well, you're out of time. No, if you do have a question for real, go ahead. Brown.
Can I just add something? You maybe
No, just
said while
questions.
she was in the bathroom. I just think that I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I've quit a lot lately in the past few months. Because not because of Premier, but because of life. And I think that's why we all quit, not because of Premier, because of our lives. And I've just been thinking a lot lately how important it is for us to understand that every single one of us are like I used to look at people, I don't know, like whatever, people like you and
Like
Christy
you?
that have been in this
Like
longer
you?
than me. And I would think, well, they don't have the same problems that I do, and it's not the same. But the closer you get to them, and the more you get to know them, you realize that.
Then she realized I was broke.
So, I mean, last year I was doing like 12, 13, 14 shows a month because we needed to do that. So somebody might have looked at me and said, oh, well, she does this or she does that. Well, it was really hard, and it wasn't easy, and I quit a lot then too. But I just think, and I've tried to think like, okay, what keeps me here? Obviously, it's the relationships that I have with people. It's not the jewelry. It's not even the money. It's really not the money. We need the money bad right now, but it's really not the money. I can find something else to do to get money. This is better, but I just think that at some point last year, I don't really know when it was, but I mentally made a decision that I was going to stay here. And every time I go back to, I mean, I've been really, really close. It would be so easy. And I just think about, it would just be so easy to just be like, I'm not going to deal with the stress of my life anymore. It's one thing I could just, let go, but it's not because I made that decision that, this is my other family and y'all are my other family and maybe there'll be a couple months where I don't do as much, but I just think making that decision, like we should all just do that. You don't, that's what I tell people, like, what do you mean you're not going to renew? That doesn't even make sense. Like, you renew, even if you're feeling crappy at the moment, you have 2 shows or a table sale and pay it off and give yourself 2 or 3 months to get over yourself. And then when you need a
Preach it, Brown.
$100, you go have a little party. Like, it's the dumbest thing ever not to renew. Like, That's just
fired
a
up.
business thing. I just told someone else on Facebook, I was like, why are you selling all your jewelry? I don't even know her really. Like, I was just like, that's just done. Like, if you need $100, you could go have a little party with 3 people. She's like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, okay.
Then don't sell your jewelry. And don't
Anyway,
quit.
don't quit.
Okay, so let me just tell you something, okay? Another important thing that's not on my list of what you should do during the valley is you need to find a buddy, a running buddy, to call when things are really stinking.
Somebody that can put up with your crap.
Yeah. Somebody who's gonna say, Afton Brown, you suck, you better come to training. I was a very,
Like, yeah, you probably should.
you should quit, that's not the person you want to
Yeah, you've been talking about hostesses, you should quit.
Okay, so find a running buddy and do everything that Afton Brown just said, okay? Don't do that. But don't make excuses, because a lot of the times, the reasons that we get into Premier are the reasons we get out of Premier. Oh, I want to join Premier to make extra money for my children. Oh, I can't do Premier anymore, I don't have time, I'm busy with my children.
Just had that happen.
Okay, I'm done talking. So now I'm going to introduce, for fashion, Alex. Okay, woohoo! Okay,
This girl's a little retro.
it's the 80s, okay? She's a little skanky
Yeah,
there.
rub a little bit.
So if y'all have any ideas with any of the jewelry, just throw it out because.
This is her coming out of her comfort zone. She's very shy. But I made her do it.
combos tonight, Alex.
Huh?
Just look at our combos.
Yeah, we need her to do this.
I don't think you need the microphone.
Put a little close to her face here, it might help.
So I love these two. These are my favorite, and I sell a lot of them just because you can do so much with them.
Lindsay Hall. I'm just kidding.
But I think it's cool if you put them together, and then like you would do opening night just by itself. I think it would be cool to do it together.
Like this?
Yeah. Well, not really. That's a little long. It would have to be like Chrissy's favorite.
Yeah, way down there.
Yeah, and then you can throw a little pendant on it. I have some.
Yeah, just see these in the middle.
Move stiff into the middle. Stop.
Move stiff on the, move stiff. Steph.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, so sorry, Alex. Should he put her on a chair?
On a chair?
Alex is all up.
Okay, so you're gonna add a pendant.
Jazz it up a little bit.
Okay.
You could fold it in half and then twist it. Well, yeah, longer. That'd be a little thick. There we go. Yeah, and then twist it. I think it'd be cool to put a pendant either on the back of it. A clip it would probably be too small, so I would just use a ribbon. Oh, 2 clip
Yeah, I had to use two.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
2 clippets?
Yeah.
Ready to go. That's a lot of weight on that.
You could crochet it pretty much the same way that you just do opening night by itself. Just incorporate that. I think it's a fun look for spring. Yeah, especially because they're probably a little too big. Again, use the ribbon.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That is fantastic. I need to do that at shows.
You could use this. I used this one at my house earlier when I was practicing.
Do you have a ribbon?
I have the ones from the De La Creme. Here, let's use this. We can use this.
You don't like ribbon? I don't know how to do that. To crochet with a ribbon?
Like,
You said use a ribbon.
No, to secure it with
Oh,
a.
yeah.
Do you have the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? We'll do a little mime at work here. There's the little hole.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, I did it wrong.
And
That's what my hostess are like!
It's her first party.
No, I was shaking. My mom, it's always nice when your mom tells you that you were really bad at your job. But you finished with you're much better now.
what did you do that was different? You doubled it first?
No, I doubled it, yeah, because it was too long. Okay, so I'm going to show you with this one. There's a loop. Okay, there's a loop. You just see?
Ooh.
Ah. Then you're gonna stick this through the hole. Don't be perverted. No need to be perverted. And you're gonna tie it.
Oh, that's really cute.
Okay? If it was me,
Adam's that. Oh.
I would not do that.
Whoa, that's
Show it off,
Hold
baby.
on. It's showcasing.
Show off your good one, not your bad one.
That's right. Taught him right. Okay. Are you ready? Cute. Just saying. I don't care. I don't get this cute. You better be wrong.
Oh, I want to buy that.
Well, it looks really cute with her little outfit here.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Wear one high heel with flat shoes.
Okay.
Listen, you just say if you hate asymmetry, close your eyes.
Okay. I like it. Okay. She's got it. Alright, I need to set the timer. So someone should be keeping time. You keeping time? Give us like 10 more minutes. You look like you're dying right now. Yeah. Okay. This one? Like that. This is what everyone was wearing this on the cruise. Do you want to see the look of the cruise? Everybody wore this on the cruise. I actually did not wear this necklace on the cruise because everyone was wearing this on.
Oh, it's so good.
It's a beautiful necklace, but I don't want to match every single person on the boat.
Why?
Because I want to look like an individual. Very rarely, it's the only time I ever want to look like an individual. Okay. And did they do singles?
Don't go to it.
I know. Okay, so you're going to do a little spot like this, just like you're crocheting Sedona. Does everybody know how to crochet Sedona?
Yes.
I love Sedona. Is that about the same length?
And you just pull it down. Yeah. And you clip it with the
That's how everyone wore it on the cruise. Doesn't it look cute? I made it this whole
Oh wait,
combo.
gosh, do that again. I wasn't watching. She just
It's on
crocheted
tape.
it.
It's on tape.
All I did was crochet. You're wasting time, Sutton.
Sorry. It's like that was so pretty. I didn't know what you were doing. It's like this, just crochet.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's exactly like that. You're going to pick a spot.
Sashay.
Are you ready with your next combo?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I got it.
This one's pretty simple, but I
Like simple.
Simple but effective.
Yeah, just because we're all here, that doesn't mean they have to.
That's why everyone's wearing it.
I need to showcase that.
Oh, who loves this necklace?
Woo! Yes.
Love this necklace. Obviously Sutton likes it. She actually matches though. Just saying.
I just was wrong. Pull me down. I took off my
I did not like it in the catalog.
I know, I didn't like it either. And then she wore it with
Well, that together.
kind of simple, but, and then you can throw your pinion on.
And you're like,
So like the necklaces and
Very
then
nice. I like
keep
it.
those pins.
Alright. Alright. Does anybody want to see anything else? Okay. So now we're going to do life groups. That sounds like we're at church. You want me to count them off? Okay. All right. You ready? So I'm going to come around and give you a number, and you need to remember your number, okay?
17.
Hush. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Wait, 3. Remember, I'm 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I already give you a number? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sutton, you're 1.
1.
2, 3, 4. You don't want strep throat from Lacey Basford, so we're just not going to count her.
0.
Okay. So we're going to break into groups. Everybody has this piece of paper, okay, that talks about your Death Valley. and ways to get out, okay? So,
Hey, does anybody have Tylenol or Motrin?
honey, do we have any Tylenol in the car?
Percocet.
Percocet.
Advil.
Advil, up here, Advil in the front, up in the front, up in the front. Believe, we gotta leave. Okay, so if you are numero unos, you're gonna come up here. If you're numero dos, you're gonna go back there by the jewelry thing. Numero tres, you're gonna go in the circle. Quattros are gonna be over here, on here, around here. What number was I? I'm 3. Good job. Okay.
What are you doing, Lice?
So I had to miss it, and then my mom had one, thankfully. And so I was watching Stephanie set up her stuff, and I was just kind of curious, and I just graduated LPN school, and I was about to start the RN program in July, so I was like, dang, I would love some money. So so I'm asking her about the questions, and asking her, you know, do you need help and stuff, and her little face turns around, you know, the jeweler look when you see somebody who, you know, they would love it. And she gave me this little eye like, do you need extra money? And I'm like, well, yeah, who doesn't, you know? So I signed up, we met at Starbucks, and I was like a 10 out of 10 the whole time. I don't know why, usually I'm not that like eager about stuff, I'm very skeptical, but I signed up and I used the rewards card, and that was a lifesaver, that's for sure. So now, let's see. So that was, my training show was April 7th, and it was a really awesome show, and then I had my mystery hostess show, and I just called everybody I knew, and it was great. And then we got to about July, and that's when I started the RN program, and I was, you know, a little overwhelmed because it's stressful having to do so much, and I was still working part-time at the Villages Hospital, so my schedule was crazy. So July, I got into a little bit of a valley, and that's probably why she asked me to do this. So, you know, we all have those valleys, so. So I had a valley, and it took me a while, and I wasn't really writing her back too often, and I was kind of just, I was in like tunnel vision with school. So then I had one show that kept pushing back, and that was in September. So I had one show, and she was like, I just have a feeling I need to go with you to this show. So she came with me. She drove about an hour. So then I sponsored 2 people that night. Well, they were 10 out of 10. I know, crazy, right? So we sponsored 2 people, and then I was like, I need to get back into this, because if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, they're not going to do what they have to do, you know. So I had to set an example, so to speak. So it was really good. They got Click 6 and all of that, and we were just moving right along. And then I sponsored, then Jewel School was in October, and that's when Josh had came with me, and then he got hooked. Then he got hooked, and it's been great ever since. So then I sponsored his mom after Jewel School, and then, you know, December and January you get into another rut because Christmas and all of that. So then I went to regional rally, because of course you still gotta go, and or those who train remain, right? So then regional rally came, and you know, that always uplifts you, and you see all these wonderful people doing so many good things, and you're like, if they can do it, I can do it, you know. Schedules are schedules. You have one day a week, you know, that you can do this. So regional rally came, and that was awesome. And then now it's April. What else happened? Oh yeah, my 1-year anniversary was in March, and there was no question asked. I don't care if I was in a rut or not. You know, like she was saying, we have to just keep renewing, and I didn't care. Paid, credit card done.
Payment plan, girl.
Yeah, right? I should have known. So then after that, then actually today, I was one away from Builder for so long, and then today me and Stephanie did another OP, and she's going to sign up when she gets home from school, so yay, then I'll be Builder. And then I'm 3 away, and so just pretty much when I was in the valley now, it's like, it just, like she was saying, it just makes you stronger because you just learn and you're like, okay, I don't want to be in that valley again. So we just gotta keep rolling. What can I do to prevent that? So my bookings are pretty consistent. This month's a little meh, but next month will be better. So.
What do you fill your day with? What do you
My life?
Yeah, what is your life like?
Oh, well, okay. So I'm still in the ARM program and I graduate in June, thank God. And then yeah, right, right. And then I have, I still work at the hospital 2 days a week. And then I still have class all the time. And then premiere. So it's all a juggling act. If you want it, you can do it. And and I love doing OPs when people are like, oh, I'm just so busy. Because I'm like, girl, you have no idea. Like, you're busy. My sister pulls that one all the time. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So that's my story.
She did good. Doesn't she have a great premiere story?
Yes.
She was like, when I asked her, she's like, I don't have a good premiere story. It's an awesome premiere story. It's an overcomer premiere story. Okay, so next.
Steph,
Yeah.
what were some things that you saw her do to get out of that?
Oh, what did I see in her? Okay. Well, I did text her a lot last June. And I remember being so sad. I told Wayne I was so sad.
Like months 0, 0, 0, 0. It wasn't like a one show a month, like
No.
no shows.
No, she
Like
went
3 or
from
4
nothing to literally she had that one show. And within, like when she doesn't play around, okay? When I say get on the phone, like, you know, I'm like, okay, Alex, I really think you should get on the phone so you can, you know, get some shows. She's like, okay. Literally by that afternoon, she has figured out a way to get 4 shows on her calendar for that month. So, what do you say to people to get people to say yes?
Hey, I need a huge favor. If you really love me, can you please just get yourself some free jewelry? And it's going to be so much fun. It's so easy. I'll send out your invites. You just invite your friends and just go, and it'll be fun. And you don't have to do it at your house. You know, I just convince them and just kind of stop them. And
The girl yesterday, she had to
leave
leave
early because I got there late to the OP and she had to leave early. So it really worked out well when my 5 children were running around. She said, yeah, she kind of stalked me, but it worked. So good news for you.
I really don't stop.
Other things, if you have a jeweler that's got, you know, she's obviously she's a doer. I mean, she's a doer. She's not going to quit. She's determined. She loves free stuff. So you need to find out what your jeweler wants for free. She's a free jewelry junkie. If you offer her free anything, she will do whatever. She'll move heaven and earth. She wants a free pencil. Okay. And I have found that if you encourage and stay with your jewelers and really just love on them and say, hey, how you doing? It's me, Stephanie. I still love you. You don't want to talk to me. I'm still here. Okay, but those are some things that is that specific enough? Basically just, and not just saying, hey, you need to get on the phone. It was, hey, who are you going to call? Be very specific. Who are you going to call? What are you going to say? Tell me what you're going to say to them. You know, be very specific so that you know when they get on the phone and when you get on the phone, you know what you're going to say. You're not going to be like flatlining. You know, so like all this silence. Hi, this is Stephanie. Who is this? I forgot to call. Who am I calling? Be quiet. Be quiet. That's what it sounds like in my house. Okay, so if you want to talk about another overcomer, because we have a team full of doers that doesn't matter where they are in their business, they make it happen. Even, yeah, Ralph team over there, / Sutton team. It's a whole little genealogy over there. They like to talk.
I'm quiet back here.
The Whitehurst Rockstars just know how to, be polite.
How to be quiet.
Word, white is right. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm Puerto Rican.
going on the
It's okay to say that. It's the truth, I really am. I just look more Irish. But anyways, okay, so like I said, our entire team is filled with a bunch of doers. They know how to, make it happen, and they work very hard. And, our team is filled with a variety of girls. And this next one was another one that I would love to see her face when someone tells her they're too busy to do Premiere, because she can basically make things happen even though she is busy all day long, every day, not just taking care of her husband and her house, but her children. And she is the heart for the Lord, and she's the sweetest girl. And I am so glad that William sponsored her. Woo! And he's crying back there. So here's Misty.
Okay. So someone gave me this book, Come Way, My Beloved, because I do have a special needs daughter, and this came to me at the perfect time because a lot of these spoke to me, and I want them to speak to you as well. So I'm going to read two, but they are short. The first one is called Walk On With Me. Make me walk in the path of your commandments, for I delight in it. Psalms 119:35. My child, the path of duty is before you. It may look rugged, but it is the only way of divine blessing. Choose some other way, and you shall find disappointment and frustration of soul. Weariness shall overtake you on the smoothest road if it is not the pathway of my ordained will. Be not deceived by doubts, and I will be not detained by fears. Move into the center of my purposes for you. You shall find glorious victories are waiting for you, and I don't know this word. Far exceeding every sacrifice. Be obedient. You will bring joy to my heart. Neither the applause nor the scorn of others shall be of any consequence to you. My approval is reward enough, and without this, any other satisfaction is not worthy of your pursuit. Walk on with me. I will be very near to give you support and encouragement, so you have nothing to warrant your fears. They will vanish as you obey. And this one's called A Garden of Fountains. The Lord will guide you continuously and satisfy your soul in drought and strengthen your bones. You shall be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters do not fail. Isaiah 58:11. Behold, my hand is upon you to bless you and to accomplish all of my good purpose. For this hour I have prepared your heart, and in my kindness I will not let you fail. Only relinquish all things unto my hands, for I can work freely only as you release me to by complete committal, both of yourself and of others. As it is written of old, commit your way to the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Psalms 37:5. I will be your sustaining strength, and my peace shall garrison your mind. Only trust in me. All I do is done in love. Adversaries are necessary. They are part of the pattern of life's pilgrimage for every individual, and who can escape them? But I say to you, for those who walk in me, and for those who are encircled by the intercessory prayers of my children, I will make of the suffering, yes, I will make of the trials, a stepping stone to future blessings. My arms are around you, and never have I loved you more. I will make you like a garden of fountains whose streams are fed by the mountain springs.
You need to do prayer request?
Oh, I'm doing prayer request. Okay. You did so